Welcome to Simon's Living Room. I appear to be a bit jerky. I perhaps need to have some kind of lubrication. Hello to viewers who are there. UFO Bob has mentioned in comments here that he won't be up at this time of the morning, which is perfectly understandable. You have to be really dedicated to get up at 4:30 in the morning to watch me. Welcome. I didn't get wine. I'm just using up the sake I've got in the fridge. Oh, and if Alas is there, I better put the jazz back on. There we go. Tell me if you can hear jazz, whether I need to turn it up. And if it's Dibble, it'll probably say turn it off. Hello, Cobrat. Oh, you're up also up early. Our dedication from my West Coast friends. Hello, Alas. Good, jolly good. We've got you going. Can you hear the jazz, Alas? I can hear it. It's. Or stay up until 4:30 a.m. Well, it's all these young people, you know. I don't know. Oh, not that much is here. Hooray! It's not out partying with friends. Hello. No jazz. Oh, hang on. Perhaps I should go here and increase the volume slightly. Now, can you hear jazz? If you can't hear jazz, then it's irrelevant, and I shall get rid of that, and maybe that will stop me moving around like a. I'm not. Am I a Dalek? No. Do I? As long as I don't sound like a Dalek. Do I look like Marcel Marceau? Hey, Peppo. Goedemiddag. Oh, I lost somebody. Somebody didn't like my Marcel Marceau impression. Marcel Marceau doesn't talk, that's why. Sound is good. Is the jazz coming through? Are you feeling mellow? You will notice at a certain point that this background here will change. But it will change and stay the same. Because I'm back in my living room, and I decided to find more photographs of the Fukui 1966 farmhouse living room. So there are not very many. It's not the most popular tourist spot in Japan. So not a great deal of photographs of this living room available. It's amazing that there are any, actually. You feel mellow, just chilling on it. Yes, I feel quite mellow. I had a lovely video chat just before, a nice long video chat with my best friend in Nihonbashi. So the Nihonbashi will be appearing on video from a thing I've pilfered from YouTube at a certain point, just to remind me of that. My image is slow motion. Yes, I know. It's strange. It's not done this before. Perhaps it's because I've got so many things going on my computer, not in my head. How am I doing? All right, you can't promise that. Well, TLDR for this show, it's just me drinking sake and waffling on. So we won't miss much. I'm doing okay, and as I say, I just had this lovely conversation, video chat with my best friend. So I'm feeling quite good about that, and hopefully, possibly at this time in Hong Kong, possibly lurking. I don't know. She said she would be behind her computer at 7:30 Hong Kong time, which is 8:30 Japan time, which is Chuck. Chuck may be in comments with you all. She was here last week, and I messaged her earlier. And she's coming out of quarantine on Monday. She's sort of gone back to Hong Kong from Japan, and obviously in Hong Kong they're quite strict, very strict. She's sort of locked up in a sort of like quarantine hotel with no view of the outside world. So hopefully she's coming out of that today. No, Monday. So she's got another day or two to go. But if you're there, Chuck, hello. And if you managed to get your link to Chuck's mum, hello. Chuck's mum. I have to try and see what's causing me. If even my blinks are in slow motion. Cheers. Yes, kampai. I polished off the one Californian sake. They did me quite well. That's done 2 shows So that's lasted me nearly 3 weeks. Englandese! Goodness me! Obviously, Mrs. Englandese is changing the nappies at the moment, so you've been given time off. Hello. Nice to see you in Onoda. Got it right again. It's all very safe there, apparently. I mean, I was video chatting with my friend in Yamaguchi, my other friend in Yamaguchi, lady friend, and it's one of the safest prefectures. But Okayama and Hiroshima and all these are all in states of emergency, but Yamaguchi's okay. So how have you all been? I've had a rather mundane work week, so I won't go into that too much. Doing deliveries and things. I kicked a rat yesterday. As you do. I was going to do a delivery, and it was in a a middle of nowhere, relatively speaking, for Belgium anyway, for Flanders. It was a country road type place. Somebody wanted some tiles there, a trailer load, and I needed to reverse into the driveway, and there just appeared to be a rat just sat in the driveway on the edge of the road, not moving. I thought perhaps it's dead. But I went up to it, and it definitely wasn't dead, but it definitely wasn't moving. I think it was maybe a very young rat. So I kicked it gently out of the way, and it started. I think it must have been injured at some point because it struggled to get away. I didn't want to squash it. You see, I was being considerate. But there you are. That was That was the most exciting thing that happened to me this week. Are you just coming out of all is normal in Yamaguchi? Yes, it's a fairly normal place. If you do go there when you visit Japan, you'll notice how normal it is. And they do have very nice okonomiyaki, I can tell you that. The rat was alive, very much alive. And I didn't want to squash it with my trailer. I then spent the next hour unloading heavy tiles. Oh dear. Oh, that's terrible. Not that much. 500 bottles of beer, and you couldn't get any of it. Oh dear. It must have been all these people in their cars going, ah! Imagine Homer Simpson going onto the road and sucking up the beer with a straw. Lake Constance. It's been a long time since I've been to a lake. 2 years, in fact. I mean, I'm hoping to go to England for Christmas, in which case I will be able to see lakes again because I'm from the Lake District. 500 boxes times 24 bottles. Yeah. Well, I mean, as long as nobody was injured, it's quite a nice way to have a traffic jam. I really am jittery. I don't know what's going on. I may have to go. What happens if I do this? I shall open up another screen and do that. Am I less jittery on this screen? Let's have a look. If I'm in the naughty naked ungreen, do I move? Am I moving slightly better? I'm moving slightly better there, aren't I? Oh dear. It's all the pictures, probably. That's doing the thing. There we are. So they change this room in Fukui occasionally, and they put different things on the table. Oh, that's my friend probably in Nihonbashi. Yep. Right, just messaged Sounds like a good idea. She did. She just got home. Okay. Sorry, I was just like, excuse me. No, my lady friend is in Yamaguchi. Well, it is also a lady. Yes, most of my Japanese friends are lady friends. Oh, it's nearly empty. Oh dear. I have to be careful because I've got to pick my son up after this, so I can't have too much. I have to be able to drive. He's having his car ceramically coated. Yes, I should have probably, just pace myself for the remainder of the show. I seem to have smoothed up a bit. Perhaps it's the sake. I don't know. 6 people. 6 people. 6 people are watching me getting smooth on listening to smooth jazz and watching me chilling. Oh, if you're there, Chuck, let yourself be known. I don't know if you're still there, and chat with the people. It's the sake, yes. The album is just a generic jazz doodah. What's it? Relaxing jazz music. It's called background chill out music for relax, study, work, and this is definitely relax. Oh, my friend is asking if that's my. It's a Fukui farmhouse living room, circa 1966. Museum. So yes, the cafe music background music channel it's from. It's just like a random collection of hopefully not non-copyright music type of thing. Have I been to Skippy's? Yes, I went to Skippy's yesterday, and I went to Skippy's and I had I had a rather nice Sauvignon Blanc wine, and there was another name of another grape, which apparently is quite common, but I didn't know the name of it, never heard of it, and that was mixed in with the Sauvignon, and it was very nice. I had a vol au vent meat pie. That's basically chicken and mushroom meat pie, one of Eddie's specialties, and had one of his wife Emily's lovely salads with feta cheese, tomato, pesto, pine seeds, and prosciutto, and green leaves, which with a salady bit, and that was very nice. And I topped it off with a chocolate brownie, bowl of ice cream, and a coffee. So that was my Friday, and I'd been there on Thursday as well to have a coffee and cake. Most of my disposable income seems to be going there each week at the moment. No, on the living room. Hang on. Wait a minute. Did you have any idea what the album is? This one with the lady on playing the piano on it. No idea. But in the previous picture, that is That is The Ventures. I think Ventures from 1965, and their tour of Japan in 1965. If you like instrumental rock and roll, twangy guitar type stuff, look that up on YouTube. Beloved Invaders. Type Beloved Invaders, The Ventures, 1965 or 1966, and it's a film. A film was made of it at that time in black and white, and there's some great tunes there. Surf rock and roll music. Yes, it was rather good. Especially the chocolate brownie and the ball of ice cream. But I have a sweet tooth, so and they'd had quite a hectic afternoon apparently. The one with the Ventures on it. Well, yes, I mean they are in Japan in that photograph. Yes, I mean I'm very careful with my sweet tooth that I don't let it get the better of me. I did have a stage when I was younger, when I was working in a museum. And there would be lunch on the lunch break. There was a cafe attached to the museum, and I noticed that I was getting slightly rounder in the face and putting on quite a bit of weight. Museum work is not very strenuous, so mostly I was sat at the door, letting people in. I had a little flurry of activity in the morning before people came, where I had to sort of clean the rooms and make sure that the pensioners who are the volunteers got their cups of coffee and biscuits. But then for the most part, I would just sit down and wait until people arrived. So I would just sit and read, and then it would be lunch, and I have a nice big lunch from the cafe provided by the cafe owner, who always gave me sort of bits of extra, and I had scones and cakes and a big bottle of beer. And then I would just go and sit down again for the rest of the day until letting people in. And I stood up, I let them in, checked their tickets or whatever it was, and said, you go this room, you go that room, blah blah blah, and I would sit back down again and wait for the next people to come in. And I got paid for that, which is rather good. I kind of miss that job. I mean, it wasn't very demanding or intellectually stimulating, but then it paid the rent and paid my petrol. I had to do things like calibrate the humidity meters and make a record of it, and I would forget. Shh, don't tell anybody, but I would forget, and then I would make it up based on averages. Yes, it was the National Trust. Alas, you're familiar with the National Trust. It was a sweet gig, as they say. Now, what I didn't realise on my when I got, it was the first ever job that I got, actually. First time I'd ever applied for a job. First time I'd ever sort of sent it out a CV. First time I'd ever had an interview, and I got the job straight away. And it was quite sweet, but didn't realise that when they asked me at the interview, what do you see yourself doing in the next 5 years? And I had to sort of make up some, I want to be a sort of, slightly higher up or whatever. No, I just quite felt like doing the same thing over and over, because the previous person had been a sort of like an old lady who'd been doing the same job that I'd just taken over, and she'd been doing it for about 20 years, and I was quite happy to do something like that. But they were all for sort of like cultivating their staff and improving them and whatnot, so that when they said, sort of, what do you see yourself in doing in the next 5 years, what they forgot to say in the interviews is, because in 5 years' time we want to replace you. Which is, pretty much, what was, they hadn't no authority to do that, but they were kind of nudging you. After 5 years, we're up, and eventually I did, and I ended up going to Belgium instead. So, and not getting that job and not getting a similar job due to the fact that they don't work that way in Belgium. So I can't. Yes, I do miss that kind of work. Any of you have got jobs that now or in the past that you thought, wow, this is such a sweet gig. I could do this, endlessly. Never mind the accumulating wealth or not. Yes, yeah, it's one of those horrible questions, where you've got to. I mean, I got the job mainly because there were other equally worthy candidates apparently, but I got it because I turned up at the place before the interview, sort of several days or a week before the interview, and introduced myself and said, "Oh, I'm applying for this job," and basically made it a good impression, and they remembered me. All the other people did not have that opportunity. So kind of like like the tortoise and the hare kind of thing. Right. This was the one from the Saki Sisters show that had added stuff added to it. So and it tasted not quite so rich as the other one. Oh, market stalls in London. Wasn't Camden Market by any chance, was it? I've been there a few times. Yeah, can't you just say you want to get to know the job and be really good at it? This is kind of expected, really, though, isn't it? Yes, we know that, but what do you want to do in 5 years' time? Little did I know that in 5 years' time I would be. I've had a girlfriend. The girlfriend would ask me to get married, would ask me to have children, and end up in Belgium. I couldn't really say that. Roman Road in Bow. Oh, Bow. Oranges and lemons at the bells of St. Clemens, and the rest I can't remember, but Bow comes into it at some point. Wembley. Wembley Market. Don't think I've ever been to Wembley. Wembley Arena. My sister went to some show jumping things there, I think, a long time ago to watch. No, either Englandese is chilling out, zoning out. Are you there still there, Englandese? I'm waiting for me to sing that song. No. I was watching a YouTube video about improving your Japanese, and that going to karaoke was one of the key things that this young lady was saying, sort of like an American lady, that to help. No, it isn't. not when you're me. All right. You were to. That would have been good. Yes. Yes. You would not be prepared to move to go to a comic shop? Not that much. Hang on. Did not that much have a job thing? Did I miss that? Hang on. All right. Your future boss may become an Englishman. Well, yeah, there we are. You could say, I know an Englishman on YouTube. Yes, I think we would all like that, Cobrat. Winning the lottery and retiring, preferably not immediately. Not having to wait 5 years to do it. Oh, like I think Englandese may have gone to bed. I'm down to 3 people. Ah. I've just noticed that if I accidentally type A in front of your name, Cobrat. No, that wouldn't even require an R. Sorry, it's the sake. I was thinking acrobat. No. Dear me. The quality of the show has deteriorated on the second glass of sake already. There's a housing crisis in the Netherlands. In the term, in like mortgage crisis, something like that. I don't really keep up with the Dutch news. Have you got a working government yet? Oh, they're protesting in the Netherlands. They're protesting against the Corona pass because they made that law the other day that in order to go into a cafe, you have to prove that you have been vaccinated or that you're also clear of Corona. And there was lots of people going, "Oh, no. Too few houses or too many people." one of the two. Yes, and now with Corona, you can't really sort of go and move into the neighbouring. Well, there's too many people here, really, as well in Belgium. It's all very, very sort of densely packed. So you've had half an hour of my living room. Let's go in celebration of my best friend. I shall pop over to Nihonbashi and start that going. How do I start that going? There we are. Now, here's the eponymous bridge. This is just somebody's video from about a month ago. Too few houses or too many people. Yes, with one, you can make more to relieve the pressure on the other. But morally speaking, you could not, with the other, you could not reduce the amount to make the available quantity suitable. Discuss, preferably soberly. I've seen plans for this place with that expressway removed. I'm quite used to it now with the expressway going over it. Hey, Chuck is here. Hello. Oh, did you manage to send a link to your mum, Chuck? And there we have on the left. Oh, hang on. She's just turning around and showing the expressway, this person. On the left, we have the very first department store in Japan, the Mitsukoshi. It's the building with the sort of the circular part. Yes, you did. Oh, brilliant. Jolly good. So your mum could have been watching before you arrived, in which case I apologise for my state. Because I've 2 glasses of sake and I get all chilled. What have I done with my hat? Now, just bear with me. That was me tipping out sunglasses. As you do. I don't know if the camera can pick this up. I have to move the camera up a little bit. There we are. Cool, blimey. I'm a chimney sweep. There we are. That's my hat from my old show. I would wear that religiously every Saturday with a pair of sunglasses. and drink 3 glasses of wine, and it would get rather blue. I bought that. Alas will know where this is. At a car boot sale in Preston 30 years ago for £5. And it was in slightly better condition when I got it. And I wore it once or twice in public as well. And on a train all the way home from college in Preston to my home, and walking from the station to my home. And I stopped wearing it in public because sort of a third of the way before getting home, a truck driver leaned out and said, "Arsehole!" And that was the end of that. Yes, sort of my self-confidence, self-esteem just like... I suppose I did look a bit strange with a, like a cut-off denim jacket over a leather jacket and pointy boots, tight jeans, and a top hat. Rather bizarre things you do when you're young. I could easily wear it daily. It leaves a mark on my head. It's the dead person that it belonged to had a slightly different shaped head. Yes, the truck driver was horrible. I mean, possibly, yes. You don't necessarily have to sort of express your opinion publicly. But it was possibly a good thing. I mean... It was a bargain. Yes, it was. Came with the box. The box was a bit battered. It was made in the northeast of England, possibly in the sort of early 20th century. But I was quite surprised that I'd found it. Things you could pick up at car boot sales 30 years ago. Oh, yes. I don't know. Did you see it on online? Hang on. Did I? Let's have a look. I'm just going to check whether you saw whether you saw what I posted. Oh, you did. You did. You did. Chuck. This is what I'm reading at the moment because Chuck read a story out of this and told me about it, and she did a lovely drawing based on that. Not this drawing, but one of Chuck's drawings. And if you've ever seen Akira Kurosawa's film Rashomon, if you haven't, I advise going to watch it. It's based on short stories written by a Taisho period Japanese author called Ryonosuke Akutagawa. I've probably murdered that. That's what he's called, and it's a collection of short stories. Yes, I am reading the Robbers now. It's in Dutch though, but it's quite intense, and I can see where you got the one that you drew with the one eye. That is, I had him pictured differently, but they're quite young actually. The people in the story, sort of 18 and 20 odd. I could go to a hat. There's not that many. I did look up all that sort of stuff. How you make top hats and whatnot. There's only places like London and major cities like that still have these places. They could probably have done something to it. It's now pretty much, beyond help. It would be expensive. It would certainly be more than £5. That's for sure. Hang on, where are we? I think this is Nihonbashi Muramachi. Nihonbashi Muramachi. There we are, because we've got the Kareido building coming up. Yes, it's a collection of short stories by Haruki Murakami. I didn't get to that. I've read The Wild Sheep Chase and other stories, um, but I got a bit tired of all his protagonists are kind of the same. It's like some disenchanted 30-something Japanese chap, always who has a problematic relation with ladies. But yes, I mean Murakami. Yeah, I had a period of reading Japanese literature, what was available anyway in Dutch or English in my library, and I've read Tanizaki, and I've read I quite like that. I also watched the film Tanizaki's Snow. I think I can't remember what it's called. Something about snow, about a family in around about Taisho period Tokyo. Kate, I shall have to look that up. I don't know that. You were in London a few days ago, alas. I haven't been there since. When was I last in London? I think 2009 or something like that. 2009. You like Tanizaki? Oh yes. It's quite intimate, shall I say, some of the stories with Tanizaki. I've read his treatise. Oh, look, there we go. My favorite place in Nihonbashi, Fukutoku Jinja. His treatise on light and shadow. That was quite interesting, and also his autobiography. And I have been opposite the Family Mart, next to a plaque in Ningyo-cho, where his house used to stand before it was destroyed in the various earthquakes and whatnot. Once every 4 weeks to London. Mm. So this is Fukutoku Jinja and people here who are wanting financial success come here and throw in their coins, ring the bell, and clap their hands. It's renowned for. They're all there. I think the bad wishes end up on the tree, or is it the good wishes? Tell me, Chuck. Is it the good wishes that? Oh, hang on. No, wait a minute. I can tell when this was made. That's this is the bad wishes hung up, and those were that was those things hung on the bamboo. That was from Tana's. What was it? I've forgotten. What's it called? Where you hang the wishes up on the bamboo. That time of the year. So it was like a couple of months ago. Tanabata, that's it. Tanabata. Thanks, Chuck. Yes, Tanzukis, I think, or something like that. So that'll sort of give you an indication when the person filmed this video. But yes, the wishes. If you get a bad wish, when there's the next to the shrine there. There's the little sort of office of the shrine people, where you can go and get your omikuji, your wish thing. And if you get a bad one, you fold it up and you tie it and you leave it on the tree. Tanzaku, that's right, Tanzaku. I nearly said tanuki. You hang your tanuki up on the bamboo. And it would be very angry if you did that. If that was in your neighborhood, the bell would never stop ringing. Yeah. I'm looking at my sake here. I'm going to no, because I've got to drive in about an hour. Yes, I've done that the past 3 years or so. I've written a tanzaku and hung it up I did once in the Japanese garden. I did a live stream from there, and I hung my tanzaku up, and it's on a wooden one. It's a wooden tanzaku, and then later on in the day they take them all and burn them, and so the wishes go up. You wouldn't want to get whoa! It's fun. It's fun. I've done it in Asakusa at Sensoji. That was on my first visit to Japan. Sort of like opened my little drawer with the omikuji thing and took out the. Couldn't read it, obviously. No idea what it said. Whether it was good fortune or bad fortune. I can only perhaps guess that perhaps it was good fortune because things went quite well on that first trip to Japan, and even better on the second trip. I think my first trip. That's when I met you, Chuck, wasn't it? On my first trip, and we'd met up before that on my old show. Yes, if you don't take a chance on you don't know. I don't know if it turns out to be bad, you can just tie it up and put it on the tree and leave it there. Yep. You know, you're always in my intro, Chuck. If anybody wants to see what Chuck looks like, if you just watch the intro each week, she's the one with the two guys playing the guitars. She's singing. Oh, it's getting very mellow now. I don't know if you can hear the music. It's starting to get very mellow. I like jazz guitar. Jazz guitar sounds much mellower than the piano. I'm just having a mellow moment. Excuse me. No, I'm lost. We've. Hang on. Is that the Bank of Japan to the left there? We could be coming out onto the main road. You still don't hear any music. Hang on. So I've been talking all this time, hearing this lovely jazz music. Right, let's see. Any luck? I've turned it up full volume. Oh, maybe. I didn't add it to the stream. Perhaps that's why. Can you hear it now? I hadn't added it to the stream. There was me thinking we were getting all this lovely jazz music going on, and there was nothing happening. Chuck is indeed a singer. Amongst other things. Very, very talented. It's not too loud, is it? I've turned it up loud. Now that I've added it to the stream, I might have to shout. I don't know. Is it too loud now? It's a little loud. Yeah, okay, thanks. Right, I'll just turn it back down, back to acceptable levels. Yes, I think this is the Bank of Japan. Looking at those Doric columns there. But we're looking at the back of it. I've only seen the front side of it on the other sort of parallel street on the other side. There's a museum in there. You look at the history of money in Japan for free if you go in there. I've not done that, but one of the things you can do if you go to that part of Japan, because that part of Tokyo, I should say, not Japan per se, but Tokyo. One of the first areas in Tokyo outside of the castle to have been developed. 1605, something like that. There you are. Pub quiz information, courtesy of Simon NoChaNoMa. Have I ever done a karaoke stream? Chuck can attest to that. I think Chuck is the only one here dating from Three Old Dudes days, and can attest to the fact that we have done in karaoke streams. And Tomoko Des, if anybody knows who Tomoko Des is, she was on it. Well, Peppo knows who Tomoko Des is. She was on it. My friend Keisan Death, like a death metal singer from Akita, but who lives in Tokyo, she was on it. And the hosts of the show, myself included, and we sort of tried to do karaoke. Yes. Yeah. Yes, we sang together. Well, I attempted to anyway. All right. You had a different name, and you were lurking in and watching 3LD. Oh, Sophia, you're from back then as well. Not that much. What was your name back then? Curious now. Who were you? Who was this mystery viewer that knows me from like nearly 8 years ago? Can I do a stream with Chuck? Well, I could. She's been on this show several times, but I'm very happy to have her on again. What do you say, Chuck? Have you got any plans? Have you got any free moments, free weekends? Would you be interested? Let me know. We'll have to give it some kind of angle. Cool. Yes. Okay. Right. I'll be in touch with you afterwards, and we can maybe work something out. Still no guitar. You don't actually remember your old YouTube name? I remember mine. It was unpronounceable. Yes, well, perhaps make it vaguely musical, or possibly art related. Live from Hong Kong as well. That would be cool. So it may be on. We'll work out a convenient. Oh, the Mitsukoshi lions. They've got polished noses because if you touch them, you get good luck. They're based on the Trafalgar lions. In fact, they were made by the same manufacturer as the Trafalgar lions. And if you manage to climb on the back of one without being seen, you get a lot of luck or something like that. I never attempted that. So yes, Bulgari, Louis Vuitton. So if you go into the Mitsukoshi, be prepared to take out a mortgage before you go and buy anything. It's very nice inside. Very sort of spectacular, with a giant atrium, so 1930s style, and a huge exotic statue of some goddess that is also an organ that is played occasionally. It's worth a look. Oh, go on, we're heading back towards the bridge. started life in the 17th century as a kimono store, and then just progressed from there. Somewhere along here, either here or on the street behind that, I went to an art gallery once. My best friend had a friend who worked there, and the art gallery, when I got there, was said, "Oh, I've got a friend who works there. You know, maybe go and check that out." It appeared to be closed, but I mentioned my friend's name at the front desk, and the manager came out straight away, and she let me in, and I got to see some amazing sort of things like Picassos and Chiricos and all kind of like really top, artwork that they had in the gallery, and it was closed. Haha. Yeah, I quite like art. I like the sort of the ambience of an art gallery. It's very quiet. You can sit down, get away from the hustle and bustle. Yes, I was very lucky. I'm very grateful to my friend in Niambashi for sort of allowing me to name drop, so that her friend would let me in. If I'd just been some random chap who came in off the street and said, "Oh, is it open? Can I come in?" I don't think they would have let me in. Oh. You've been hearing, now you're hearing music. I've been hearing the whole show. This is possibly also why I've been quite mellow. Yes, the buildings can be, sort of sometimes nicer surroundings. Now, this street here, the one to the right of the of that video screen, that is Anjin Dori, and that is the street along which at some point in time in the 17th century, the house of the very first Englishman to visit Japan was located, because he became an assistant to Tokugawa Ieyasu, the shogun of Japan, on maritime issues. Anjin meaning he was a sort of navigator. William Adams. So I've been down that street and photographed the memorial stone for where his house stood. More pub quiz information from Simon NoChaNoMa. This side of the bridge, where we've just been, the Fukutoku Jinja and the bank and the Mitsukoshi, I find that slightly more appealing than the other side. The other side, you do eventually get down to places like Ningyo-cho, and there's the Suitengu Shrine, Suitengu Shrine is quite nice. That's quite large, and obviously they rebuild shrines regularly. And when I was there, it hadn't been that long ago since they rebuilt it, and it was all in sort of quite bright cedar wood and looked very fresh. But obviously they're ancient shrines, but they rebuild them in exactly the same way as they originally were. They all look very new and clean. A pub quiz show, yes. We'll bring bags of pork scratchings and a pint of mild. Sorry, I was just listening to the piano there. So perhaps, I mean, I'm still in Cobrat. If you're still there, I believe that Night Rider's goal wasn't feeling too bright, and Mindy's mom was I think at Eyes Munch's live stream, Night Rider's Girl was saying that Mindy's mom wasn't feeling too good either. So hopefully in sometime in next month, you, Nancy, Mindy's mom, and Night Rider's Girl, we can all get together and we can finally do the Mod Squad Part 2. So that's a future possibility, and I shall be in touch with you, Chuck, very shortly, and we could perhaps work something out, and hopefully in the next week or so. But for next week, I'm not quite sure what's happening. But it could be if Chuck is amenable to it, that Chuck could be on the show next week. But we'll it's a bit too presumptuous at the moment to say that. But so I don't know what's happening next week. And I'm not quite sure, I'd have to sort of like Google a lot of pub quiz questions if I was going to. And I would like people on, not just me. I mean, I'd have to get people on. I might ask you in the audience to actually appear on the show, and we'll do a pub quiz or something like that. Where are we now? Oh, yes, there's lots of posh shops there, because if you just keep going on down this road, it ends up in Ginza. It just gets posher and posher as you keep going down. I could be the quiz master. That would save me a lot of... Yeah, although I would have to look up all the answers to make sure they were correct. I haven't done a pub quiz since... Yeah, about 5 or 6 years ago when I went to England, and my friend in my hometown, he and I went down to the pub, and I joined in with the pub quiz. Right, we've gone past the most interesting part of Nihonbashi. Not to diss on the rest of Nihonbashi, but I shall go back to my... I'll tell you what, I'll go back to my smooth. There we are, look at that, I can move about. Woohoo! The reality, look. I'll turn this off. There we are. I've just got daylight coming through my spare room window. Oh, so Cobrat is familiar with pub quizzes. Trying to imagine a Californian pub quiz. Would you all drink Budweiser and ask yourself about NFL questions and stuff? Sorry. Hang on, pastries. Where the last video quiz was pastries. I'm lost now. So I've managed to get through an entire live stream, chilling out. Unfortunately, the music only kicked in for the audience 15 minutes before the end. My bad. Terribly sorry about that. You were all probably imagining wonderful jazz music playing in the background. And I just convinced you that it was. You had it going in your heads while you listened to me waffle on. And I have enjoyed, as I always do, doing this show and talking to you. Keeping my English up to speed. Not having to revert to Dutch entirely all the time. So next week could possibly be a musical event or art-related event with Chuck the Magpie. I shall talk to him very shortly. And or it could just be me again. Or if all of a sudden the Mod Squad gets together, it could be the Mod Squad. We shall see. It's a mystery. But I'd like to thank you all very much for keeping me company. And you can do with a nice pastry now. Yeah, I'm quite hungry. I've not had my lunch. I've got to go and pick up my son. So, yes, in about half an hour, I've got to go and pick him up. So I'll grab something to eat before I go. And see you all again next week. Thank you for everybody for watching now and after the event, and I hope you enjoyed it. I think UFO Bob who will watch the replay, and all the other people watching the replay, thank you for supporting the channel and watching me. Keeps me going. Oh, okay. Thank you, everybody, and see you again next week. Bye for now.